Could there be a market anywhere in the world as boisterous as the one that awakens this city every morning?
None for me today. I'm not opening until the 2nd.
For Manuel, a Portuguese who's lived in Macau for 40 years, speaking Cantonese has long been essential to his daily life. Meanwhile, Angela Claudia Rodriguez is driving through the traffic on her way to work.
Do I need to look a certain way?
It's okay, just act natural.
Okay. Genetically, I'm more Chinese than Portuguese. I guess you can say I'm Macanese.
Even those forged by the vicissitudes of history find a place to settle down in the end. Here, for over 4 centuries, generations of Macanese have been born and raised. As well as establishing time-honored businesses, they've introduced Portuguese traditions into Macau's food culture.
Are they all this big?
They're all this big? Buy some. They're all good.
In 1979, Manuel moved to Macau and opened his Portuguese restaurant. His manager and sous chef is his wife, Tong Lai Ha, from Zhuhai, Guangdong.
When we got married, I didn't even know how to cook. And he said to me, "I thought you were Chinese. How come you can't cook?" So I learned just to show him. He wouldn't teach me, so I taught myself by watching him.
You know, it's a happy marriage when a couple's conversation centers around fine food.
Portuguese-style squid is served at many restaurants. But the cooking methods they use vary.
The Portuguese are fond of pork, and being a coastal nation in southwest Europe, it's only natural. They enjoy the combination of pork and seafood. Manuel is preparing a stuffing with squid tentacles, Portuguese sausage, and minced meat, seasoned by red chili powder, black pepper, and white wine. In traditional Portuguese cooking, onions, bell peppers, and tomato sauces feature prominently. According to Manuel, stuffed squid has to be slow cooked.
He likes to go slow and I don't. He cooks super patiently, while I always want things done fast. So we fight every single day.
Oh, yeah?
We fight every day.
Over the years, the go fast, go slow pace of work has synergized into a stable work-life balance.
First, we cook the onion. Portuguese and Macanese cooking are different. We use lots of ingredients, the essential ones being onion, olive oil, and white wine.
White wine adds a fruitiness to the broth. While the stuffed squid is a flavor sensation, the penetrating flavor of salty sour sauce on the outside is giving way to delicious freshness inside. It's a dish that has all the warmth and vitality of a Mediterranean breeze. Having finished the day's work, Angela hurries home. She has an appointment with her mother.
Don't move your hand like that.
Like this?
I'm so afraid that you might hurt yourself. Now you do it. From here, better keep your hand away.
Angela's father is 3/4 Portuguese, while her mother is a native of Fujian. In local Macanese families like this, a special recipe has been passed down for generations. A homemade dish replete with the history of this place, as well as delicious ingredients.
Throw in some more of it, yeah. Now put the chicken in the wok before the onion's overcooked.
The curcuma powder, a flavor and color enhancer originally from India, came to Macau during the Age of Discovery, along with many other spices. The
enough?
It sure is.
But others in Macau choose to stick to authentic Portuguese cuisine. Tonight's a special occasion, so Manuel's offering a spectacular for his main course, roast suckling pig.
Marinate it first, together with those, not too much.
This delicacy turns out to be another cultural exchange and between East and West.
The Portuguese roast suckling pig tastes salty and spicy. Unlike the Chinese version, which is somewhat sweet.
The Portuguese and Cantonese versions of the roast pig are like two acquaintances who've walked past one another so many times that it's now hard to say who influenced whom. In the Portuguese version, the entire pig is marinated from the inside out. While in the Cantonese version, only the inside is marinated and the skin is crispy. The Portuguese version is baked in an oven, whereas the Cantonese one requires a much more complicated procedure, where honey, water, and red vinegar are used to toughen the skin in preparation for a shower of flame.
An open flame renders the skin crispy, giving it a distinctive sesame-like roasted and toasted taste.
Different experiences, different results. The Cantonese roast pig, with all its fancy tricks, has come a long way from its homely origins. Thanks to tasty, crispy skin, it is now one of global cuisine's pork crown jewels. Meanwhile, the Portuguese roast pig has retained its original modest flavor. Easily achievable at home or in a restaurant.
Customers choose the roast suckling pig for happy occasions, like the birth of a new baby. Another popular dish is pig's trotters cooked with beans.
Guests at this party may have distinct looks of their respective races or bear marks of two worlds crossing paths. But the difference in culture or language no longer keeps them apart. They are united in their common passion for fine food. The last course on the menu takes only 2 minutes to prepare. A classic soup made of red pepper, minced garlic, and white wine is used to cook fresh clams. With a touch of sharpness squeezed from lemon. Once these fragrant wine-infused clams are served, this cross-cultural party really starts to swing.
To good health. Cheers. Thank you, everybody.
I was blown away by her beauty at first sight. So I asked her if she would go out with me.
They all love Portuguese food and I Cantonese. He loves Cantonese too. He eats everything now. But he insists on buying the food himself instead of having it delivered. Now, is he stubborn or not?
In the symphony of time, the romantic encounter is the defining chord. And that encounter, having lasted for centuries, has left us with the most splendid culture, as well as the earliest fusion cuisine in China, Macanese food. Every morning, Lam Kok Long drives to the market, honoring a century-long tradition for restaurant owners, purchasing everything himself.
My grandfather opened this restaurant in 1918. That was over 100 years ago. Almost every Portuguese person in Macau knows this place.
Lam Kok Long's confidence comes from the restaurant's long history and a recipe that never changed. Chilies pickled in vinegar, their trademark appetizer, is made by marinating green chilies in salt and white vinegar. Though made using a simple procedure involving little or no technique, they've been around unchanged for 300 years and are only available in old restaurants like this. Lam Kok Long's restaurant witnessed the coming into being of Macanese food.
Please lead this guest to the lady at table 10.
And uncommonly, it sells wine by the glass.
I've been coming here for 27 years, from 1993 to this day.
I first heard about this place 6 years ago. It serves traditional Portuguese food. It serves traditional Portuguese food. This is him, right?
He's been coming here since he was a teenager. Customers include Portuguese, people of mixed races, and government employees. Tourists from the mainland, too, have been dining at my restaurant since Macau's return to China in 1999. Business has grown since. Here, this is the chili sauce.
This strong flavored appetizer that could be paired with almost anything is not in fact an invention of the restaurant, but rather a treat developed over time. At the end of the 15th century, after Christopher Columbus discovered the Americas, chilies, an aboriginal plant of South America, were brought back to Europe. This appetite-boosting food soon gained popularity. The Portuguese applied the same method they had used to pickle other vegetables to this New World arrival. The result was this zingy yet homely snack. Trying new flavors requires courage and a sense of adventure. As the spices came to Macau via the maritime Silk Road, a chili-based cuisine began to grow here. The brave new culinary world was born. African chicken, the quintessence of Macau's spicy food, can be found on the menu of almost every restaurant here.
The African chicken is spicy by design, chilies being the essential ingredient. I use at least 3 kinds of chili. Hot pepper is indispensable, for it provides a spicy and savory kick.
Hot oil draws out the strong flavor from within the chilies. When cooking African chicken, the marinade is everything. Chili is being the core of the dish. Just as Portuguese-style chicken isn't exactly from Portugal, neither is this dish authentically African. Instead, it is the product of the spices brought by trade and their gradual incorporation into cooking. The end result is a hot, tasty treat exclusive to Macau. Veteran cooks like 67-year-old Ang Peng Chun are key to passing on Macau's gourmet heritage. Every day he's first to enter the kitchen. His day's work begins with a prayer to the kitchen god. The only thing irreplaceable in this kitchen isn't Ang Peng Chun himself, the glue that binds everything together. The prosperity of this restaurant, which first opened in 1903, is underpinned by its loyal staff.
I came to work here in 1985. I started working here in 1978, so it's been 35 years. Now it's 2021, so it's been 43 years.
One dish on their menu has never faded in popularity. Sheki roasted pigeon, introduced to the Canton area by overseas Chinese. Early last century, the restaurant gained fame for its roast pigeon. After years of improvement, the recipe now includes the Cantonese soy sauce, along with the dried cinnamon leaves and rosemary of Portuguese cuisine.
We added Portuguese spices to the roast pigeon, and it's loved by both foreign and Chinese customers.
The cooking technique follows the tradition. The pigeon is deep-fried in lot. Till the skin appears dark red, and the herbal fragrance of rosemary has brought out. Giving the dish a universally popular flavor. Unlike the big restaurants, Lam Kok Lon's place is more down to earth. Years ago, he even convinced his brother to join the team.
We work together for the sake of making a living. We're both interested to start with. Plus, we need to make money. And strengthening the family bond is an added bonus.
Since then, with his brother running the business, Lam Kok Lon has been able to focus on cooking, perfecting his already adept skills. Red wine braised oxtail stew is a classic dish known to everyone in Macau, and you could find it in almost all restaurants. Based on the original European version, and marinated along with ingredients and spices common in Western cuisine, as well as authentic Portuguese red wine. The oxtail is then pan-fried in olive oil to keep the beef fresh. But rather than baking it, people here braise it. The result of this simplified procedure is delicious melt-in-the-mouth oxtail. Compared to what's served in the fancy restaurants, Lam Kok Lon's version appears more humble, sometimes with cabbage featuring in the stew. For over 100 years, this small diner has played its modest role as an essential part of neighborhood life.
Go check if the fish is done. Don't stay idle.
It's not. I've just put it in.
The younger generation won't take over and I can't do it forever. It'll close in 2 to 3 years at tops. It'd be a shame because business is good. I have to give it up some time. This is how the world works. Come here often if you like the food.
Goodbye, they say, is one of the hardest words to say, especially in a tiny place like Macau. The end of a century-old tradition. Maybe a serious issue, but it never bothers Lam Kok Lon. Keeping the business going while he still can means everything to him. Elsewhere in Macau, other restaurants choose a different path. From Lam Kok Lon's adherence to Portuguese tradition, with a more adaptive and inclusive approach, they are attracting more and more tourists.
There are plenty of Chinese elements. We serve Portuguese food, but also Chinese. Milk tea and coffee are popular among locals, especially at breakfast time.
Minchi pork rice is something everyone in Macau is familiar with. The Cantonese word minchi is derived from the English word minced. Together with other local specialties, it's heading into an era of fast-paced life. Things change so fast that even the older generation are altering their lifestyles. At 74, Francisco Xavier keeps a schedule, busier than his juniors. The last thing he wants is to be left behind.
A good chef must keep renewing the menu. Customers lose interest if they end up having the same food 8 times out of 10.
Xavier's restaurant is frequented by his fans. Before the handover of Macau in 1999, he had served 6 governors in succession.
Since I left my job in the government headquarters, I had to adapt to the restaurant's style and the changes in people's tastes. Portuguese food today is different from what it used to be.
Xavier is known for being one of the most innovative of his generation of Macau chefs, combining traditional Portuguese food and Chinese cuisine has been an eye-opening experience for him. This morning, in search of culinary inspiration, Xavier decides to visit an old friend. His name is Lulam Lim, owner of a time-honored dessert shop in Macau.
How did you make it? With or without rice?
Without. We used to make almond milk by stewing. The coconut milk can be used on cakes and other desserts to enrich flavor. All right, brother. Now you try this sugar-free almond milk. It would make for a good soup recipe. Wow, this is so good.
Inspired by the desserts, Xavier plans to reinvent a classic Portuguese dessert using sugar-free almond milk. Whereas traditional Portuguese sweet rice is made using massive quantities of milk, Xavier wants to substitute almond milk, thereby neutralizing the fatness and transforming the flavor.
The rice tastes different after adding the sugar-free almond milk. The almond provides Portuguese food. Without olive oil, garlic, onion, tomato, sausage, and black olives. Bacalhau being the fish of choice. It's a significant part of Portuguese cuisine, and no true Portuguese restaurant can be without it.
Bacalhau, one of Portugal's most beloved dishes. Made with salted black cod from the Arctic Ocean. Allegedly, it was an invention of Portuguese sailors. It requires huge amounts of salt, since it's not simply left to dry, making it much saltier than Chinese salted fish.
The thicker pieces need to be soaked for 3 days. 2 in water, 1 in fresh milk, rendering the meat all moist and tasty.
The bacalhau, now softened from the soaking, is as juicy as fresh meat, with salt penetrating each of its fibers. This naturally flavored special treat has played an active role in Macau cuisine for centuries.
Pan fry, deep fry, bake, roast, braise, stuff. To name a few of the hundreds of ways to cook bacalhau.
Even today, some veteran Macau cooks still use the time-honored methods of tenderizing the flesh of the fish by giving it a good beating. Bacalhau bowls, a homegrown Macau snack, as renowned as the egg tart.
Brother. Dog.
Hi.
Sit.
I'm fine with anything you offer.
Great, I'm making bacalhau tongues today.
Wonderful. That'd take many fish to make.
Yes, since each fish has only 1 tongue.
As one-time sous chef in the governor's kitchen, Xavier has access to cod tongue, the holy grail of seafood cuisine. It is the rarest part of bacalhau. Hard to find even in its country of origin. Soaking it in icy water will neutralize the saltiness, as well as firm up the meat. There are no references for cooking bacalhau. In the making of this Macau delicacy, Xavier relies solely on his knowledge of Portuguese cuisine with a touch of Chinese thinking. Red chili paste and other ingredients. London advertising, peacock sweetness, while white wine and fish soup intensify the Portuguese flavor. For centuries, Macau has seen countless individuals fascinated by the merging of two very different culinary traditions, the Portuguese and the Chinese. It is then that laid down the foundations of the city's culinary tradition. But Macau has so much more to offer than Macanese dishes. 1 year ago, Wang Puilan started getting around in a wheelchair.
Turn here.
Every morning, her son wheels her through the old alleyways to their own restaurant.
I was born in Myanmar and returned to Macau in 1971 with my 3 children. Selling rice noodles and fish soup was how I made a living. I did it from a roadside cart.
Between the 1960s and 1970s, a great number of overseas Chinese in Southeast Asia returned to settle in Macau, bringing with them various food cultures. It gave Macau's local cuisine a distinct Southeast Asian flavor. Fairly affordable, they soon grew popular, mostly served in little shops, hidden away inside streets.
My rice noodle business got better and better, and I was happy. Hard work always pays off. That's the spirit of the bull.
Now, in her 80s, Wang Puilan has handed over the restaurant to her son.
The noodle soup can be cooked with many different types of fish, but for traditional Myanmar soup, we must use the catfish. Other fish, like the big ones, have a fishy smell, but not catfish.
Cooking noodle soup with catfish has been Wang Puilan's secret recipe since her days as a street vendor. Boil it for half an hour, long enough to ensure the meat is cooked through, but short enough to prevent the flesh from disintegrating. Calarius fuscus. Also known by many other names, including yellow catfish. A spoon is all it takes to scoop out its meat. Spices are the soul of Southeast Asian cooking. Curcuma powder from India and fish curry powder from Thailand are thrown into the oil to bring out their strong flavors. In order to enrich the soup, rice powder is added. Stirred hundreds of times and poked and prodded, the flesh eventually turns into floss. The most important ingredient of the noodle soup. Putting the floss into the soup, along with some lemongrass, completes this exotic Southeast Asian treat.
You can't make the fish soup rice noodles without banana pith. That's a Myanmar thing.
Banana pith, delicate core of the plant, is a common ingredient in tropical countries of Southeast Asia.
Why banana pith? Probably because people there barely had anything to eat in the past. So, they fed themselves with whatever they could get. It's what makes the dish special. No pith, no fish soup rice noodles.
After being cooked together for 3 hours, the ingredients have long been inseparable. A tasty fish, refreshing spices, and slightly sweet banana pith make for a rich taste. Along with the chewy rice noodles, this street food has more to offer than it seems. Novelty and exotic taste made Southeast Asian food an immediate hit in Macau. Soy brine intestine may sound Chinese, but it has a distinct Myanmar flavor thanks to the use of cinnamon leaves and lemongrass from that country. Besides the fish soup rice noodles, Wang Pui Lan's restaurant has one more signature product.
Like my mother, I knew how to cook the noodle soup in Belashan, which brought just as much business.
The final step is mixing the 3 ingredients together. A job for 2. Lei Lo Wa used to help his mother when he was a child. And now, it's the other way around.
I've been assisting my mother for decades. We moved here from Myanmar when I was 7, and I was already helping with our cold drink stand. I secretly learned cooking by myself and found it fulfilling.
Be it in kitchens or in life, being there for your loved ones, it's always the best.
It's all because of my mother. I see her every day. It's destiny, really. I've been grateful for all these years, satisfied too.
Another bustling morning in Macau. Every day at this hour, Sari Xiongmixe walks through 3 or 4 markets, purchasing authentic food from Thailand, his home country.
My mother was among the first Thai immigrants to Macau. I started helping with the restaurant business at a very young age. It wasn't a restaurant, actually. Just selling some homemade food. My aunt and my mom cooked, and I helped them. Customers placed orders by phone, and I packed up and delivered.
Growing up in such an environment, Sari became an expert on Thai food. As a Macau citizen with Thai heritage, he has made promoting Thai food his speciality. Sari has the luxury of owning a private studio in Macau, where cost of land is extravagant. In here, he works to innovate Thai food with 3 cooks from Thailand.
Do we use up all the green coconuts?
Yeah?
How about fresh shrimps? They'll work. Then we go with Spanish red prawn.
Macau has a long tradition of appreciating Thai food. Many chefs from Thailand have made a name for themselves in the city.
I have worked in Macau for 10 years already. We use the Thai herbs from the Thailand that we cook for Thai curry.
Chef Prompak insists on using fresh spices imported from Thailand when cooking curry. Baked coriander seeds with their dominant scent are mixed with a myriad of other spices to create the base flavor of Thai curry.
And then for the sauce, the culture there is like very, very strong, spicy. The more spicy when they cook the curry.
Whether it's the red curry made with red chili or green curry with green chili and basil, Chef Prompak can recreate their very flavors before combining them with local ingredients in Macau to provide customers with an authentic taste of Thailand. Unlike Chef Prompak, who's obsessed with curry, Sari's job seems more relaxing. Seeking fine food has always been his biggest hobby.
It started at a very young age. You can tell by my size.
Scattered across the city are restaurants with respect to specialties, most of which only serve patrons. Every gourmet here has their own gastronomic map of the city. Be it a hot pot or a humble restaurant, or an exquisite French feast. Sari loves them all and finds in them inspiration for his own creations. Having done his due diligence, Sari has given himself a whole new challenge: Thai-style royal dishes.
Luckily, recipes for those dishes were kept to this day. Written down by actual royal chefs back in the day. So we can read those and follow the instructions.
Over 20 royal Thai dishes are found in historical records. Using availability of materials and ingredients in Macau as the criteria, he narrows it down to 4, plus one main course served in magnificent silver. The main course is made from fresh lobster from South America. Before cooking it, great effort is put into preparing the authentic Thai sauce. Freshness is an absolute must. The lemon leaf is used to moderate the spiciness, and along with green mango slices, creates a refreshing flavor. Sea prawns are fine just by themselves, but for this dish they mash to embellish texture and color.
Cooking royal dishes is a time-consuming task that demands great effort. The techniques are quite sophisticated.
As complicated as it is to prepare, the lobster is surprisingly simple to cook. such is Sari's understanding of his royal Thai cuisine. It represents not only the highest level of Thai food, but also the adaptability of Macau culture.
Every time I come up with something new, I feel satisfied, and it's fun too. I resent boredom and cooking the same dishes over and over again. I'm strongly against that.
As time goes by, Macanese food has become part of the city's culture, as well as an inspiration for many. Here in this private kitchen, a taste exclusive to Macau is in the making. When the salty shrimp sauce joins forces with whiskey, the result is a truly unique flavor.
The Cantonese sauce is lumpy, whereas the Macau version is mostly liquid, for we soak the shrimps in liquor. This is the salty shrimp sauce.
For Neta and indigenous Macanese, Macanese food is part of her culture that cannot be forgotten. By sharing it, the culture is kept alive.
Of course, I have high hopes for Macanese food. I want everyone visiting Macau to have the opportunity to experience this authentic local flavor.
Memories may fade, but the wonderful things in life At 6 o'clock in the morning, the old streets of Macau are waking up to a new day. The north to south through Rua dos Mercadores, known as Camp Street in Chinese, was historically an area designated for Portuguese army encampment. This was once one of Macau's busiest neighborhoods. Recently, indeed, it has been undergoing something of a revival. When you hear someone humming tunes at patio door, open door, it is Lo Pong Long getting his shop ready for business. Lo Pong Long, a karaoke enthusiast, has been nicknamed Gabby Long by the neighborhood for his quirk of switching between dialects and languages. His workplace is this 2-meter wide alleyway. With tables and chairs set up, there is only room for one waiter. This is Senkei Chokpan. It has been running here for over 60 years and only opens until noon every day. Its signature is Cantonese congee, the breakfast of choice for many locals. Congee is porridge made from rice into which Lo Pong Long adds a variety of meats and vegetables.
Good morning, Miss Wong. Take a seat, young man, and have some congee.
By 8 a.m., with the day's tempo increasing, he is in full talkative mode.
Study hard, sweetheart. Good luck, my friend. Good luck. First come, first served, sweetheart. You came here a couple of days ago, right? Jiangmen, Xinhui, Kaiping.
Lo Pong Long is attending to customers. His wife cooks the congee. She stirs the rice vigorously and constantly, which allows a maximum amount of starch to be released and ensures a sticky texture. Although the shop is small, it provides a variety of congee choices. Its signature congee offers all of the ingredients of the day in one bowl. Pork tripe, pork liver, meatballs, and fish fillets. These tasty ingredients are easy to cook with congee. To go with it, locals like side dishes. A dish of cold carp skins makes for a tasty accompaniment. Hard-fried breadstick contrasts nicely the softness of the rice. In its architectural style, Macau offers a unique combination of old Portuguese and southern Chinese elements. Its iconic ruins of St. Paul's Cathedral are a stone's throw from the tranquil nature temple. Here indeed is a place where people of different races and traditions have lived alongside each other for generations. With the two cultures evolving alongside each other, it's no surprise that they have sometimes fused. Once when this happened, the result was a tasty local snack. This was the look of the Tai Lei Loi Kei Cafe over 50 years ago. In those days, Portuguese officials ordered 300 pork chop buns every day for charitable distribution. Their demand led to the development of the famous Macau pork chop bun.
Before the handover, Taipa had many government offices. A lot of Macanese worked here. They'd order food and we'd deliver. They taught my mom to marinate pork chops with Portuguese spices. This Tinhao temple is also called a Matsu temple. With its blessing, our pork chop bun will become more and more successful.
Chan Ka-ai is the second-generation owner of Tai Lei Loi Kei Cafe. She helped her mom here as a child. Since then, making pork chop buns has become second nature to her. In Portuguese cuisine, bread of different kinds occupies a central position. The strength of this legacy means the streets of Macau are always filled with the aroma of baking. The bread part of the Macau pork chop bun is often considered a short version of the French baguette. Developed locally, it looks like a sleeping piglet. Hence its Cantonese name, piglet bun. Its ingredients are very simple: water, flour, and yeast. The knack lies in controlling the time for which the dough is allowed to rise. And also the right amount of kneading before and after to give the dough the right texture.
To this day, we continue to make it by hand. We also ensure the density of our buns. One of our buns weighs as much as 2 buns from other places. They're very substantive.
Before being put into the oven, the dough is sprayed with water. The moisture slows down the formation of a hard crust. The last step is to score each bun with a shallow cut. Now, the buns are ready to face a baking temperature of over 200 degrees centigrade. The Macau pork chop bun is a standard one-person meal. The hard crust of each bun covers a soft inside that now awaits its meat filling.
This hammer is custom made. The blunt side is to soften the fibers. The sharp side is for the bones. The pork chop must be broken down, otherwise it will shrink and look ugly.
For more convenient eating, Portuguese prefer bonus pork in their buns. But Chan Ka-i's mom knew that pork chops with bones had more flavor. So her pork chop bun acquired its Chinese genes. After being tenderized, the uncooked meat must be flavored. Brandis' unique aroma makes it a favorite for Portuguese chefs to marinate meat. Chan Ka-i still uses it today. For the Portuguese who lived in Macau back then, this was the rich taste of home. The bread bun is crispy, the pork chop inside is juicy. Together they make a perfect combination. This is the integration of Portuguese and Chinese culture, but is a hallmark of Macau.
A Chinese mother and Portuguese cuisine led to this signature Macau food. If you haven't had a pork chop bun, you haven't been to Macau.
For many visitors, indeed eating a Macau pork chop bun is a must-do during this day. But if there's one item that ranks more highly in this respect, it is surely one of the special administrative regions' famous egg tarts.
In those days, there were a lot of Portuguese in Macau. My dad was British. He came to live in Macau and missed the food of his home country. He thought he'd make Portuguese desserts for them. So he tried to make Portuguese-style egg tarts. The Portuguese said, "You're a foreigner. This isn't egg tart." He said, "I'm British, so this is based on how we do it." Afterwards, they didn't know what to call our egg tarts, so they just called them Portuguese tarts. The name stuck.
Portuguese love desserts, and tarts are a favorite. In the 19th century, nuns in Portuguese convents used egg whites to starch their clothes. Rather than waste the egg yolks, they made a creamy pastry with them that would later impress the whole of Europe. In this story, however, there's a twist. Andrew Stove, a British baker, came to Macau to work combining Cantonese and British dessert recipes, who experimented with different ratios of flour, egg and cream to create Macau's unique egg tarts, which are known simply as Portuguese tarts today. For years now, so-called Portuguese tarts have occupied a central place in Macanese cuisine. In contrast to a covered pipe, the filling in a tart is exposed. It's not just egg tarts. So the Macanese have a special affection and unique appreciation of PK located at a prime spot on Taipa's rule. Durian is another favorite for Macanese street food. The sweet jelly snacks sold here have been a favorite of Macau children for generations. Recently, its duty and ice cream has become very popular.
My father-in-law used to source durians from Hong Kong. After I took over, went to Malaysia to get them. Depending on where they grow, they have different tastes.
In visiting the Malaysian highlands, Leong Kwai Chi, the shop's third-generation owner, was looking for this variety of fruit. There are more than 600 durian varieties in the world. Musang King is one of the best. To Leong Kwai Chi, it is better known as D197, the code she uses to order it. The fruit's bright golden flesh has a creamy and delicate taste, sweetened with a hint of bitterness. Leong Kwai Chi makes it into her locally renowned ice cream, which often attracts long queues in front of her store.
I have to do things quickly because I need to control the time so that the ice cream can taste better.
To make delicious ice cream, the trick is to add hot water. Glucose and fish gelatin are dissolved in water at 80 degrees centigrade. Durian fruit flesh is then added, and the mixture is stirred evenly. The mixture is then placed into a freezer to solidify it. Leong Kwai Chi knows the best pace at which to work, key to creating an ice cream with the best flavor. In Macau, where many ice cream shops are more than 50 years old, they are usually called by its Portuguese name. So Rebecca is. Ice cream sandwiches and ice lobbies made with beans have sold well in summer for decades. Surrounded by the sea on three sides, Macau's subtropical oceanic monsoon climate makes for sweltering, humid summers eating delicious ice cream. In an air-conditioned sort of wetter shop is one of the best ways to cool down. More than 2,000 years ago, during the Qin dynasty, Macau was a fishing village in China's Nanhai region. In the late Ming and early Qing dynasties, thriving fisheries led to the rise of a local shipbuilding industry. Like Even Village in Macau, southernmost island, Carolina was the location of its last shipyard. In the local industry's heyday, dozens of shipbuilders, lumber stores, and machine foundries were clustered here. In the 1960s, it became a major wooden boat production base of the Asia-Pacific region. Today, the former workshops are derelict. The total area they still occupy is an indicator of the industry's former scale. In 1970, Leong Kam-hon followed his father to Macau. His first job after arriving was building boats. Although he no longer does so now, he volunteers to patrol the abandoned workshops every day.
In 1986, my hand was cut in an accident. The aorta was severed. My brothers each gave me 500 milliliter blood, saving my hand in the end. The doctor was recommending amputation, I told the doctor that losing my hand would be worse than losing my life.
A workshop accident almost cost Leong Kam Hon his arm. When it happened, he was just over 30.
Afterwards, I started to swim in the sea every day to train my hand. I tried all methods for 4 years. The doctor grabbed my hand one day and told other people this was a miracle.
Refusing amputation and dedicating himself completely to rehabilitation, Leong Kam Hon created the first miracle in his life. To support his family, he opened a coffee shop near the shipyards in 1990.
In 1990, many workers were still building boats here. They saw my situation and would come here to buy soda to show their support.
Shipbuilding's days were numbered in Macau, and eventually the yard was closed. Afterwards, however, Leong Kam Hon encountered the second miracle in his life. His coffee shop became a hit.
I specified my opening time as 8 a.m., but customers would arrive soon after 7 a.m.
His signature coffee is what attracts locals as well as tourists from all over the world in its preparation. It is whipped hundreds of times.
This coffee is altogether more mellow. As iced coffee, its taste is more refreshing. You wouldn't think it was made with ordinary coffee powder.
1 spoonful of sugar, 1 spoonful of cheap instant coffee powder, and 1 spoonful of water. With rapid stirring, the 3 ingredients form a thick, aerated syrup. Cooks who have beaten egg whites or milk into froth will understand the trick. This is its state after stirring 400 times. Is it still coffee? Thick and silky like melted chocolate. After hot water is added, the bubbles in it rise, forming a creamy head at the top. Using cheap ingredients and a vigorous method of preparation, a delicious drink is magically created. How did Leong Kam Hon, who was previously a shipbuilder, learn how to do it?
In 1994, 1995, and 1996, there were annual racing festivals here. A foreign couple always came here for coffee. They spoke in their own language and taught me how to make coffee by hand.
In 1954, Macau hosted its first motorsport Grand Prix. Today it's a Formula 3 championship that attracts champions and drivers from around the world. The narrowest part of the urban racecourse is only 7 meters wide. Its far straights, tight corners, and uncompromising crash barriers make it one of the most difficult tracks in the world. A large crowd of spectators is guaranteed for a thrilling event. While young Come Home had mastered the trick of making coffee by hand, he knew it would be of little appeal to local workers without much money or leisure time to spend. He needed to wait for the third medical in his life.
In 2004, Chow Yun Fat came to the shipyard to take pictures and drink coffee. When he arrived, I knew he was a big star, and I remembered how that couple had taught me how to make coffee. So I tried making one for myself. I tasted it. Ah, great. So I beat up 3 cups for Chow Yun Fat to drink.
Thanks to the movie star support, Honki Cafe became a hit. The quiet LAI Chi Vun village started to regain some of the hustle and bustle of its shipbuilding past. Today, Leong Kam Hon is fully booked every day, but his menu is as it was when he served shipbuilders. Simple, generous, and affordable. His wish is that when his old shipyard workmates drop by to eat, they can still enjoy his familiar and tasty food. As an international tourism destination with both Chinese and Western heritage, coffee is popular in Macau to a degree that many locals would not like to live without it. The beverage has become as much a part of daily life here as tea. Many Macanese restaurants indeed call themselves cafes. In spite of this Western label, Mei's core menu is still very much Chinese congee, rice and noodles. Lok Kei noodles are an unusual kind of Cantonese noodle. They became popular in Guangzhou Xiguan area in the early 20th century. Food lovers at that time invented a unique way of using a bamboo log to knead dough made from flour and duck eggs.
The weather in Macau has a great impact on our noodle making. Why? Because Macau is a coastal area with unusual weather. It's humid in the hot summer, but dry in the cold winter. This makes it difficult to control dough. It takes at least 3 years to figure it out, because each year has 4 seasons.
Using only duck eggs without adding water is a trick that increases the protein content of the gluten. At each time the bamboo log presses the dough, it improves the density and strength of the noodles.
This bamboo log has been with me for 17 years. My dad gave his to me, but it hadn't been with me for long when, after 7 or 8 months, it split on its own. A new bamboo log is like a partner at first. You have to treat it well. Its shape is irregular. You have to get used to each other.
For juxing noodles made in Macau, locals care most about their elastic texture. The noodles can't be sold immediately. They need to be kept in the fridge overnight to reduce their alkalinity and increase their elasticity. Only then will customers be able to enjoy them at their smooth and delicious best. Three years ago, Lei Meng Kai, owner of the locally famous Lok Kei noodles, handed over his small family business to his son Long.
The only change is I no longer have to work. Right. Very comfortable for me.
His hands are not working, but his brain is still busy. He asks about everything the whole day. He's still worried. His heart is still with the shop.
This is the third generation of the street eatery. Although retired, Lei Ming Kai takes a stroll for exercise every day, using it as an excuse to drop by.
My dad used to say, if you make food that tastes better than chili paste, you have succeeded.
Tastes better than chili paste is a line written by the poet Nalan Shingde in the Praising the Scent of Osmantha Swine. Lei Meng Kai started to make noodles when he was 17. Although they were just ordinary, his father asked him to prepare them for the best possible taste. With such dedication, Lok Kei became very successful. A world-class food authority has recommended this unremarkable street shop for 11 consecutive years.
This was the first Macau Food Festival. Now I'm fighting for our reputation. That's my dad. That's my mom.
When dropping by on his daily stroll, Lei Meng Kai may offer some advice if the shop is frying shrimp roe. Shrimp roe is a seasoning the shop sometimes prepares. Fresh shrimp eggs are saved and dried to become a delicious concentrate. Meng Kai uses different varieties of shrimp roe, known for different flavors and degrees of saltiness. Lei Meng Kai's personal recipe with the fruit of many years' effort. It contributes to the unique taste of this Macau juxing noodles. As the color of the roe darkens, its texture changes. Lei Meng Kai wonders if his son's eyes are trained enough to perceive the difference, which is crucial to getting the seasoning right.
Almost.
For cooking, the noodles are boiled quickly. Soy sauce is added to taste before draining. Half-meter-long chopsticks are used to keep the noodles from sticking together. Throw. Fall. During this stage, the noodles are tossed up and down to get rid of water. Doing this correctly is crucial to ensuring the prepared Jackson noodles have their full hallmark texture of strength and elasticity. When the finished dish is seasoned by evenly spread shrimp roe, every mouthful is accompanied by tiny grains of deliciousness. If you think it's too dry, you can order a free bowl of thick soup to go with it. It takes 3 hours to boil free-range chicken, dried fish, and fresh days. Together to make this noodle soup, it's not unlock case menu. If customers don't ask, the restaurant won't serve it.
He established the business. For me, it's no longer about making a living. I need to do better to maintain my dad's reputation. That's how I feel.
Many street shops in Macau are family businesses. Good food indeed is often a family affair. They ply their trade amid the everyday hustle and bustle, making the city a museum of delicious food.
If you don't like your job, doing it for 1 minute is hard work. If you like it, you can work every day for years and you won't feel like it's hard.
Right next to the Gong Bay port on the border with Zhuhai lies Macau New Wholesale Market. With 11 floors, it's the main bulk supplier of fresh produce. Vegetables, fruit, meat, and poultry, as well as food inspection labs, are organized on different floors. Macau is run efficiently enough to ensure a good supply of all kinds of ingredients. In area, however, it is small, the world's most densely populated territory. In fact, with land in short supply, the city has begun to grow upwards. Macau's more retail-oriented markets are called street markets. Among them, the Seldom Mingles Market, located in a high-rise building, is the oldest with a history of over 120 years. And still throngs with crowds. The basement level is mainly for aquatic products. The ground floor is for meat products. The second floor sells fruit and vegetables. The third floor is for a food court.
The food here is delicious.
Very good.
The decor may not be luxurious, but some of Macau's best snacks can be found here.
Delicious. Very fresh. These dishes are all very good.
Ping Kei is famous for its stir-fry dishes. Lung Shekwai took over the business from his dad and is today its stir-fry chef.
When stir-frying, incorporate the rhythm of music.
Pang 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 pang.
It works. Just relax your mood, and delicious food will follow.
Beef chor fun or fried rice noodles is Ping Kei's signature dish. The beef is first fried separately until 70% cooked. Bean sprouts and rice noodles are then tried together. When stir-fry, care must be taken to make sure the noodles are neither sticking together nor breaking into pieces. Soy sauce is the core seasoning. It must be mixed well after the beef has been added. Once done, the smooth rice noodles aren't greasy. After eating, there's no oil left on the plate. That's quality beef chor fun. Lung Shek Wai can work quickly enough to cook with 3 woks at once. In Macanese cuisine, there is slow food as well as fast. Chu Kam Chio's method of cooking is braising. Suckling pig imported from Vietnam is Chu Kam Chio's favorite choice for making pork pot. First, the piglet's internal organs are removed. Then the fine hair and its skin is burnt off. Now the pork is partially fried. Once 80% cooked, the pork is kept in the fridge so that its skin and meat won't separate during steering.
In 1983, I took over and replaced my dad. He retired. It was my turn.
As the pork simmers over low heat, its delicious aroma infuses the air. Each day, Chu Kam Chio cooks just 1 batch. Before survey mushrooms and fried tofu skin are added, to the suckling pig pot, the dish is served on a table stove, encouraging regular customers to bring their own ingredients as if eating hot pot at home. In the meantime, there is a store preparing the most time-consuming and labor-intensive food. Beef offal cooked in broth is a favorite among diners here. An Wai Chong is the owner of the store called Chike, and he has been running it with his mother for 20 years. They're always busy with customers.
My dad worked here for over 40 years. I've done it for over 20 years. We always choose fresh beef offal, so that's a bit different from other places. Other beef offal has more spices. Ours doesn't taste spicy. It's more refreshing with an authentic taste.
Every day, only about 3 cows are supplied in Macau. Strong local competition can be expected. Freshness is all important. By virtue of his reputation, An Wai Chong always has a way to secure the best supplies. Now he's preparing beef esophagus.
We keep the softer parts. We don't keep the harder parts because They don't taste too good. This quantity isn't guaranteed every day.
An esophagus is made up of cartilage and muscles. Compared with more elastic tribe and intestines, it offers the pleasure of a crunchy texture. Boiled beef offal has featured strongly in southern Chinese cuisine for centuries. Preparing it is among the slowest of processes. At 5:30 every morning, Un Wai Chong begins to cook beef offal for the day. Sugar is added for sweetness, beef esophagus, and lungs are stewed in the same pot for tasty bass soup and a crisp texture. A second pot has a heavier taste to achieve. It takes a bottle of cooking wine and half a container of light soy sauce. These enhance the offer's naturally strong flavors. Un Wai Chong's mother is to make special dipping sauce for the beef offal.
Many people like this chili sauce because it's very fragrant with authentic ingredients.
Garlic and chili are natural companions. Some love garlic sauce, others prefer spicy peppers. With years of experience, Un Wai Chong's mom knows the different preferences of customers. Some like her mild mustard sauce, while others prefer her slightly sour chili sauce. The pleasure of fine food gives the third floor of the market complex a warm social ambiance, while to come true is still enjoying the company of old friends. The stir-fry chef Leung Shek Wai has changed his clothes and identity.
Start now. The out-of-bounds ball went to the line at the bottom. Now, comes a breakthrough.
Leung Shek Wai used to a keen footballer. These days, after finishing work at Seldom Mingles Market, he has a second job as a football commentator. Un Wai Chong also has a busy life out of work. Season Kik Yi Tong is the oldest martial arts club in Macau. Un Wai Chong practiced lion dance here as a child. Now he's a volunteer instructor, passing on the tradition to children. These chefs are active contributors to their community, not least through the much appreciated food they prepare. It's dark now. The late-night food stalls and eating shops on the streets of Macau are all open for business. There's no air conditioning, no fancy tables and chairs, and no hot towels for the hands. But the meals they supply rise to as much enjoyment as any fine dining restaurant. In terms of taste and authenticity, their food can be of top quality.
No problem. It's our pleasure to serve the neighborhood. Thanks. 398 patakas.
Hing Ki Dai Pai Dong on Avenido do Coronel Mosquito has been in business for nearly 70 years. Lang Kok Long is the second-generation owner.
Our customers are either friends or neighbors. To avoid them eating the same dishes, I keep trying to come up with new ones.
Drinking is a big part of outdoor dining in Macau. Dishes that go with drinking are therefore essential to compete.
Many diners would drink at these food stalls. Salty dishes are key. Drinking while eating. That's ideal.
Using common ingredients like breadcrumbs, garlic and salt to make the best seasoning is also important for success.
Fresh garlic is minced with a knife. Using a blender would lose water and reduce its fragrance. Frying garlic requires controlled heat, because it's easy to burn it towards the end if you're not careful. The breadcrumbs have to be fried slowly over low heat from the beginning. Otherwise, they won't be fragrant.
Food stalls in Macau, like lambs, should never be underestimated. Lamb has the highest standards when it comes to selecting ingredients. Fish stomach is thrown away when fish is gutted in other countries, along with other internal organs. As a native of Zhongshan, Guangdong, lamb is familiar with its distinctive taste. Hot oil fixes the shape of the fried fish stomach and preserves its tenderness. After stir-frying, seasoning his head before the dish is served part in a clay pot.
Just 3 or 4 left. They're getting fewer and fewer. Sometimes a group of strangers sit at the same table. After eating, they become friends. People can chat here. Scenes like that always make me happy. It's a harmonious feeling.
Lam has been a chef for over 20 years. He once worked as head chef in a star hotel. Now his food is no less delicious. In continuing its dual heritage, street food in Macau has become a highlight of tourists' visits as well as a part of the city's unique culture. Time zones, it seems, exist even in the same city. It's 5 a.m. While the city soundly sleeps, the fishermen have already weighed anchor.
If you want to catch more, you must work harder. Stay out there for a longer time, and you'll catch more fish.
30-year-old Quan Ho In has been going to sea with his father and grandfather for 16 years. Even though they're all experienced fishermen, they're not sure about their catch today. As the fishing boats head for offshore pastures, Hak Sa, one of Macau's oldest Hakka villages, wakes to the sound of birds and the fragrance of flowers. Away from the urban hustle and bustle.
With enough water and fertilizers, they can be harvested in a month.
A few hundred meters away on a hillside, Kun is looking for a plant. Evodia lepta is a common ingredient in the herbal tea of Guangdong. But today, Kun is going to use it to make a traditional dish. Although modern utensils have replaced traditional mortis, the refreshingly bitter citrus aroma of an Evodia lepta remains the same. The procedure of mixing the juice with glutinous rice flour is a fun game for Kun Cheong's granddaughter.
Okay, no need to press it.
Do we need oil?
No.
Fresh banana leaves are also used as containers for another Hakka dessert. A classic formula comprising crushed peanuts, coconut shreds, and sugar.
Wow, it's so tiny. You made it too small. This one is yours. So it's not just about eating.
Two sweet treats originally made only on special occasions are now ready to serve.
I made the one you are eating.
Yeah, you made it.
This is one of the many legacies of the Hakka people found in today's Macau. While Ng Kun Cheong's family are still enjoying their breakfast, the Kwans have reached the Wanshan fishery, a place with abundant marine resources. A vessel like this is called a prawn boat by locals. The county levers on both sides can cover a width of 40 meters and drag 18 nets simultaneously. They are used exclusively for catching shrimps and crabs.
Working on the sea is not as easy as people think. Understanding the currents and knowing how to trawl requires training.
Nowadays, it is rare to see young people like Kwan Ho-in working as fishermen. Fishing used to be a pillar of Macau's economy with more than 2,000 fishing boats in the 1950s. Now, the total number of fishing boats is less than 100. The fresh catches will be delivered to seafood markets early the next morning.
We call these the long-necked mantis shrimp. They taste fresh and sweet. They are the most delicious species. These are short claws. That's what we call them. They taste a bit salty. Fish in brackish water are fresher and tastier, and the crabs are not very salty. They tend to be milder in taste.
At present, about 40% of products in Macau's seafood markets come from local fishing boats. In Macau, the cooking methods used for seafood vary greatly. The mud crab common in the Pearl River estuary is an ingredient familiar to Macau chefs.
This is a water crab. Press it and it goes in. This is a roe crab. This one doesn't have much roe. This meaty one is a virgin crab.
Shortly after a mud crab molds, its meat hasn't taken shape and its body is full of juice. Locals call a mud crab in this stage of growth a water crab. A virgin crab has just reached its adulthood and is rich in both roe and meat. Congee cooked for 4 hours will become yet more delectable with a dash of crab juice. The luxurious crab congee with water crab, roe crab, and virgin crab in one pot integrates all flavors of the mud crab in every stage of life. There's a Cantonese style of cooking that really brings out the taste of virgin crabs. Garlic laid at the bottom, and fine salt that drives and hardens into a crust on top help produce a firmer meat texture than simply steaming. Passion, igniting, resilient, intensify its aroma and appeal. The silver pomfret from the South China Sea is given a peculiar smoky aroma by tea leaves, raw rice, and walnut pith. The ingredients used to give the fish its signature smokiness are sourced from all over the world. A truly inclusive dish. Seafood can also be used together with dried tangerine peel to give duck an extra flavorful tag. After 6 hours of cooking, The aroma of tangerine, the freshness of abalone, and the richness of duck meats are blended to create a true delicacy. The making of seafood in Hexa village still follows traditional practices. Repeated hard blows release neoxin in the fish fibers to produce gelatin. Not far away in Shunde, Guangdong province, dace cakes were made in the same way 150 years ago. Lok Van Tak is the convener of a village banquet. He is very familiar with Cantonese cuisines.
Add pan-fried sliced scallion and boiling oil, and then soy sauce.
Tonight is the birthday party of Lok Van Tak and one of his friends. Nearly 100 guests are invited. Together, they enjoy the elaborately prepared delicacies and celebrate the occasion. Time, like a mirror, can always reflect the most youthful memories on a hardship-enduring face. In Macau, you could always see the origin of the city through a dining table. In the old streets, it is a bowl of tong sui or sweet soup that brings back childhood memories for many. The crisp and sweet water chestnut can be transformed into a classic sweet soup by Lu Lam Lim. And in this process, one thing is crucial.
After stirring the smashed water chestnut, you need to put water, and the quality of water is very important.
Since the 1960s, Macau's water supply system has been connected to Zhuhai in Guangdong. Several reservoirs built along the Xijiang River bring about 270,000 tons of clean water every day to Macau, which is short of fresh water resources. The incoming water supports the functioning of the city and the people's daily lives, not least the catering sector. Lu Lam Lim's shop has been there for half a century. No matter how the ingredients change, water is always fundamental to creating a smooth and sweet soup. Before monosodium glutamate came along, stock was the most powerful flavor weapon in the cook's war on blindness. When the water-soluble protein of the meat is dissolved in water, stock is produced to impart flavor to other ingredients. Simple ingredients like bok choy from Jiangmen in Guangdong can be transformed by the power of stock into something utterly delicious.
Turnip cake, plain congee, and deep-fried dough sticks are popular with the guests. Our rice congee has the flavor of rice, and soybean as well.
The practice of adding tofu skin to congee was introduced by Leong Heng Yu's father, who was also Senkei's founder. The protein of soybean dissolves in the congee, enhancing its taste and fragrance. By serving congee and several kinds of dim sum, the restaurant has been running for over a century.
Do you know food is a bearer of memories? After all these years, our customers have got accustomed to the taste. Then they got married, had kids, and brought their children here to eat. When their kids grew up, their grandchildren were brought here. For generations, the taste has remained the same.
Macau's history is also revealed by the locals' everyday life. Patane Market next to a wharf is where Sun Quan Sing, a retired Cantonese chef, visits every day.
As I have said, every trade has its tricks. No exception.
Every Cantonese chef has his or her own secret recipe. Even with something as ordinary as soy sauce, their versatility is endless. 100 Cantonese chefs would somehow manage to use it in 100 different ways. Cantonese accounts for 80% of Macau's population, most of whose ancestors migrated from various parts of Guangdong. The composition of the population means that the foundation of Macau cuisine is Cantonese cuisine. Sun Quan Sing has his own knack for turning waste food into treasure. But taking out the inner membrane of a fish bladder requires skill and patience.
After being marinated, it becomes a delightfully appetizing ingredient.
Extracting bones from a duck's flipper is even more challenging than processing fish bladders. Only with precision and control can the skin be kept complete. After being simmered for 30 minutes, the skin becomes perfectly crunchy. Then it will be stir-fried for 20 seconds with fish bladder and chicken liver, and make a dish rarely seen in restaurants since Sun Quan Sing's retirement.
It doesn't stick to the meat, see? I told you. Traditional ingredients can be cooked in a new way. I prefer to insist on my own idea and principle.
Sun Quan Sing has long been devoted to traditional Cantonese cuisines. Spiny head croaker is no longer than a palm, so it poses considerable challenges to the cook's cutting and slicing skills. After taking the succulent part off, the flake has to be sliced again to increase its width. Then sausage and crab meat are curled in to enrich its flavor. The spiny head croaker should be cooked on a well-controlled fire. After frying for 50 seconds, they are stir-fried for 8 seconds before being dished out. The result is tender, savory fish rolls that are welcomed by the city's younger generations. Cantonese cuisine specialists are known for medicosity and patience. These qualities are especially to be seen in Guangdong's Shunde cuisine, which has also taken root in Macau.
It is particularly difficult to prepare a quality dish with ordinary ingredients.
Grass carp, one of the 4 major agriculture fishes in China, is also one of the most common ingredients in Shunde. The key to cooking grass carp is getting rid of the fishy smell. For this purpose, the carp is fried first to seal in the fresh flavor. Once that's done, it's ready to be steamed with scallion and ginger.
In Shunde, minced fish soup is a very traditional dish.
For a long time, nearby Macau was the place Shunde's chefs flocked to make a name for themselves. As a result, Shunde cuisine became known to more and more people. For the fish soup, Che Hoi Sam uses an entire dace, while grass carp bones are used for the stock. Then in with some grass carp floss, and the fresh, thick soup is ready. Almost ready. One last essential ingredient is still missing.
The essence of minced fish soup is the olive kernel, a much-loved ingredient by Shunde people.
The best olive kernels in China come from Zhengcheng in Guangzhou. Every year after the Mid-Autumn Festival comes the black olive harvest season.
Don't sit there. You'll get hit on the head.
Seashine black olive has been cultivated here for more than 400 years. In Dengshan village, every family has a tree climbing master. They spend at least 10 hours a day on the trees during the 2-month picking season.
Is the water hot? Not yet. Wait for a while.
To process the black olive, the water temperature should be kept up around 70 degrees Celsius. After stirring and soaking for 5 minutes, the olives are softened, making it easier to remove the cores.
Circle the thread back. Hold it with your hands. Pull and put the core in there.
By twisting and pulling a cotton thread tied to a basket, the villagers can open an olive and remove the cores. This craft has been passed down through the generations in Dengshan village. The rooftops of many houses in the village are used to dry the cores and flesh of olives. After about 4 days, they open the cores to take out the kernels. As they do, the air becomes thick with a delightful piney, nutty aroma.
The olive kernel bestows another fragrance on the soup. My teacher always told me that we shouldn't be constrained by traditional methods, nor should we forget them when exploring new ways.
It tastes good. Try the flesh first.
Black olive, after being soaked in hot water, has a texture similar to sweet potato. White sugar or soy sauce with grated ginger will make it even more seductive. The flesh of the olives also have their use. Pressed and cured for weeks with fine salt. They are transformed into a commonly used ingredient in Cantonese cuisine. Following in the steps of the Cantonese chefs, these pickled olives have also made their way to Macau.
We apply Cantonese cooking techniques to food ingredients from other places. Our traditional cooking methods are our roots.
Home Sui has modified the cooking process of a steamed fish ingredient unique to Cantonese cuisine. While in the traditional formula, olive flesh and fermented black soybeans are simply fried together in oil. Home Sui adds a touch of his own pickled pepper and hot chili.
The fish to be steamed with olive flesh are carefully selected. We prefer fish with more fat, because the olive flesh will absorb it and become tastier.
Salmon rich in oil can stimulate the flavor of olive and soybean sauce. Coupled with fig and lotus leaves, the dish acquires a refreshing and sweet aroma. Based on traditional Cantonese cuisine, Home Sui has created a unique style of cooking by combining conventional flavors and local ingredients. For example, gelatin-rich prawns caught by Macau fishermen can be mixed with minced pork, water chestnuts, olive kernels, and pickled olive. Macau's unique cuisine has thus been developed by the younger generations innovating on the basis of inherited tradition. In Taipa, Macau, there is a century-old shrimp paste shop for many Cantonese chefs. Its owner, 91-year-old Paolo, is nothing less than a culinary legend. His handmade shrimp paste is unparalleled and indispensable.
A machine could fill 1,000 bottles in the time it takes me to fill a 100 by hand.
Paolo has always followed traditional methods by mixing new shrimp paste with the batch produced 6 months earlier, and churning repeatedly to blend an aromatic, nostalgic taste is produced. Streaky pork with shrimp paste is a home-cooked favorite for many. The thickness of the paste and the refreshing zing of the cooking wine lend the pork a special new twist. Now, the traditional shrimp paste has been introduced to Beijing by an established Cantonese chef. These conchs might look big, but 800 grams will yield just 200 grams of meat. Each slice is no thicker than 2 millimeters. After being embraced in clear chicken soup, it's ready for the dressing. Hot oil and ginger juice tame the strong smell of the paste, and meanwhile creating a pleasant, appetizing aroma. So it is that in this new era, the Macau taste is making an impact on dining tables thousands of miles away.
The cooking methods have been passed down from over a century ago. This is no secret recipe. Everyone knows about it. If you don't mind taking the time, you can do it too. When I graduated from primary school, World War I broke out. All middle schools and universities were suspended. By the time the war was over, I was like 15 years old. How was I supposed to get into a middle school at that age?
Reminiscing about the past, Paolo is still as energetic as he ever was. Regardless of his 9 decades, he's still in his prime. By 6 a.m., Macau's meat markets are already buzzing. Truckloads of fresh pork has come through customs from the Chinese mainland.
He wants fresh meat. Overnight meat cannot do. We have to chop the meat apart and send it to him as quickly as we can. He wants the front shoulder blade to be tender and smooth, and no hind legs. I have been delivering for him for 16 years.
As usual, Lo Kam Pui saves his best meat for a regular customer. This simple backstreet shop, so anonymous that it even lacks a signboard, is a gastronomic mecca in the eyes of many Macanese.
I think I've been holding knives here longer than my father.
Mat Lam, who started working with his father when he was 14, has been in the shop for more than 50 years. The habit of cooking char siu or roasted pork with the front shoulder blade, which is rich in intermuscular fat, has never changed.
There are people thinking of creating a new way, but we never think that way. We stick to the old way and do it well.
Marinated pork with ingredients such as sugar, salt, liquor, sesame paste, and soy sauce is a recipe known throughout the industry. But the food in this little shop has a magic touch that makes diners queue up for more than an hour under the scorching sun.
After I tasted the food here for the first time with my parents, I couldn't get it off my mind. Now we have been eating it for 3 decades.
Macau is a small place. After all these years, we have some customers whose entire family, from old men to children, are regular visitors.
Char siu, one of Macau's most popular delicacies, has taken deep roots in the local diet. Whether spit roasted or oven roasted, the essence of roasting is heating meat over fire. But heat and timing is everything, something that experienced cooks know all about.
If you can't control the heat properly, you can't roast well.
When the meat is almost ready, heat needs to go up to crisp up the skin. Once that's done, the meat comes out and is dressed with maltose. All the elements for exquisitely preparing salty sweet char siu are now in place.
Many people think there's a strict recipe to follow, but in fact there isn't. The only recipe is in our minds.
At 11:30 a.m. the shop opens right on time, and the couple are soon up to their elbows in work.
Fan K.
They only sell smoked trotters, char siu, and soy sauce chicken. The 3 kinds of food sold separately or in combination, plus 4 woks of rice, are all there is on the menu.
It takes us only 3 hours to sell all the food, but there's lots of preparation to be done beforehand.
The flat of the cleaver serves a dual purpose. It sets the pace for Mac Lam's busy lunchtime service and signals to hungry customers that he's open for business.
How much do you still need? Rice with char siu. Please wait a second.
A tough existence? The expression on the owner's wife's face tells you everything you need to know.
Fan is actually my father's name, not my wife's name, as many might have supposed. 3 char siu and trotters combos? Okay. Give this to her first.
Half fat, half lean.
Amid the clutching of the knife, the 3 hours always fly by.
We have been partners for so long that we know exactly what each other wants.
If marriage is a predestined relationship, but your wife plays mahjong every day, it would be a bad destination. Isn't that what people say about it?
Just speak out, don't ask me.
We call it bad luck. But if your wife is better than that, then you will live a good life. That's it.
In the shop, there are many ancient gadgets. This is Mac Lam's collection. Standing in silence, each piece represents a period of time.
History determines how you start your life. There would be no life if there was no history. I'm over 50 years old, and I'm about to become part of history.
In Macau, history is not a synonym for cliché. Rather, it is the foundation of inheritance.
These are mini chewy cookies. These are walnut sweet cakes. These are abalone sweet cakes. It tastes good as well, but there is no abalone in it. It takes the shape of an abalone and is called abalone sweet cake. There are many layers inside that makes it taste crispy.
Pastry is one of the Ku's most famous specialties. This is a bakery with a history of 120 years. Though they still adhere to the old handmade tradition, the current owner of the shop bears a youthful face.
When I was about to go to university, I was thinking about being an engineer or doctor. But one day my aunt said to me that if I didn't inherit the shop, no one else would. All of a sudden, I saw another career path for myself. At last, I decided to come back and carry on the traditional crafts.
Ku is the only one here that is able to make the oldest kind of cake. The key technique in making this cake is kneading the dough. It should be kneaded for no more than 5 minutes, so it won't stiffen. This requires strength and experience.
When I first started to work here, I was thinking, why did I have to do this? This is an outmoded shop, and there is no place to install an air conditioner. The temperature can go high to 40 degrees Celsius in summer. It is not an easy job, but after some time I got used to it. I'm sticking to it so that I can carry on the traditional crafts.
Historically, light cake was a snack Macau fishermen always had when they went to sea. It might look plain, but that doesn't mean it's easy to make.
Many customers say that the light cakes made by me are more delicious than others. It's a motivation for me. Their praise is a recognition. I made it.
Building on past practices, the pastry industry in Macau is being modernized. Koike producing 300,000 almond cakes each day, and with over 300 pastry products developed, accounts for 70% of the market share in Macau and reflects the development of the city. In fast-moving Macau, there are always people adjusting their pace to catch up with the city's new rhythms.
Treating each other with all sincerity. Living in the moment. Feeling content. Drinking with bosom friends. The highest pursuit in life. I'm Fatty Hap.
Just like every superhero has his superpower, Chung Ying Hap has his secret weapon. The loaf is about to be filled with spicy curry beef. Never following the beaten track, Chung Ying Hap calls his self-invented cuisine ingenious.
I wonder why Western bread appears in a Chinese cuisine restaurant.
I used to learn Portuguese cuisine. I started off as a chef of Portuguese cuisine. When learning Western cooking, there was Western curry and Macanese curry.
He started off making Portuguese cuisine in 1981 and Cantonese cuisine in 1985. He has kept updating his menu since he opened his own restaurant 30 years ago.
If they want something special, they know the big boss can make it for them.
The wine shrimp is ready to be eaten.
Why are you called Fatty Hap?
Aren't I fat?
Yes, but what about Hap?
It's from Hap in Cantonese, as in my name, Chung Ying Hap.
Cheong Ying Hap.
Chung Ying Hap.
Hence Fatty Hap, I see.
Hence Fatty Hap.
A large number of tourists come to Macau after its return to China. Cheong Ying Hap and his ingenious cuisine quickly became popular with tourists.
There's not much room for innovation with Portuguese cuisine. Cantonese cuisine has more possibilities. So I combine the two.
Cheong Ying Hap prepares to cook a famous Cantonese dish, wax gourd soup. Naturally, he uses his secret weapon to put cabbage into the wax squad. The combination of dried shrimp ribs and dried oysters comes from years of experience in blending flavors.
I named this dish Boo-hoo because it has baby Chinese cabbage, which gets down well with both children and the elderly. Boo-hoo is to mimic the sound of a baby crying. I'm very happy today, so the dish I made today should be more delicious. When customers see you are happy, they will be happy too.
With Chang Ying Hap, the time spent at a dinner table is never boring.
We never write those things down. They're like something you can't forget or tell others. They are special.
Chan Wai Leong is talking about the roasting techniques he inherited from his family. Roasted meat, or siu mei in Cantonese, is another aspect of Macau heritage. Thanks to modern machinery, this factory can provide siu mei throughout the year. On New Year or festivals, it can produce 3 tons of siu mei per day, serving 70% of restaurants in Macau. The roast duck craft that Chan Wai Leong has inherited is a distinguished one. The spice passed down from his family and quality black pepper integrate Western and Chinese flavors, producing a novel mouthfeel.
This technique can be traced back to my great-grandfather, who was a street vendor in Xinhui, Guangdong. My grandfather peddled in the streets of Macau. They lived on it.
Unlike some roasted products that use soy sauce to enhance their color, the color of roasted duck comes entirely from the Maillard reaction between sugared skin and fire. Roasted duck with black pepper has a reddish color and a light spicy aroma. They will be delivered within 10 minutes to ensure the duck remains crisp-skinned and plump with delicious juices.
Some regular customers can tell the difference in the amount of condiments. Sometimes there is more salt, sometimes more sugar. They will tell me.
It is difficult to cater to all tastes, but in Macau that doesn't seem to be much of an issue. Thanks to the mobility of people, foods from all over Hina have met and integrated in Macau.
Better lie down than sitting.
Instead of being elbowed out in Macau, dumplings from northern China gained a foothold. The popularity began 15 years ago, thanks to mainland immigrants.
Sweet and sour spare ribs.
Have a try. Our ribs are bigger. What do you think, Wah? My hometown is in Shanghai. My father hoped to bring to Macau our hometown's cuisine and culture.
Whatever the weather, Tam Kwok Fung can be found waiting at the entrance of the hotel storeroom for a new batch of ingredients. In the 15 years he's been in Macau, this has been his unbreakable custom.
I think as a Chinese cuisine cook, the most important thing is to preserve and pass on some traditional tastes in Cantonese or Chinese cuisine.
In Tam Kwok Fung's opinion, it is also a kind of inheritance to continue the tradition of Cantonese cuisine based on Chinese and foreign ingredients, and even to recreate the ancient Cantonese cuisine with modern combinations. In the attempt to make a classic dish, he takes out an accidentally found ingredient.
In Macau, ingredients are easy to get. Its culture is inclusive, and its people welcome different cuisines.
This is a dried skin of speckled hind. Its value is beyond measure because of its rareness. At the age of 17, Tam Kwok Fung was able to prepare dried food for a 100-table banquet and knew the technique for soaking.
You have to stay cool and wait for it. Soaking it with hot water and cold water alternatively can help preserve the colloid better.
Starting from the skin, Tam Kwok Fung will prepare an elaborate dish. Drawing inspiration from a lost dish, Kunlun Abalone, Tam Kwok Fung gives full play to the role of stock in imparting flavor. Stock made with soaked dried abalone induces the fresh flavor from the fish skin. Moreover, Tam Kwok Fung incorporates a wide range of ingredients, such as deer sinew, shaddock peel, and Japanese kelp, showcasing his ingenuity and innovation. If you need to define gourmet food, Tam Kwok Fung's answer is the pursuit of perfection. The pursuit of taste is all that counts, not technique for its own sake.
To recreate this traditional dish represents the inheritance of traditional cooking techniques.
Every day in Macau's culinary world, there are new creations taking place and history being made. Born in Macau, they've grown up keeping a watchful eye on the historical rings of this petite city. In the early morning, old and new faces show up at the bustling Gungbei border crossing between Zhuhai and Macau. Since October the 2nd, 1999, this port has been the embodiment of the one country, two systems policy and the main channel between the Chinese mainland and Macau. Around 300,000 people pass through every day. On average, it takes 15 minutes to clear customs. Macau's other border crossing with the Zhuhai island of Henkin to the southwest is even faster.
I'm Otto Wong Wai-ho from Hong Kong. I work as a chef in Macau and live in Henkin, so I cross the border every day.
Macau is becoming more closely integrated with Henkin. And every day, more people like Otto commute from the island, passing through the Henkin port.
The commute is convenient. I don't even have to wear a backpack. I only need a phone and a wallet to go through customs, and it only takes 10 minutes to get to Macau from the Henkin port.
10-minute walk, a 10-minute border crossing, and then a 10-minute bus ride. It only takes Otto 30 minutes to get to work.
Good. Keep it up.
Okay. Got it.
Have a taste. Make sure they're savory.
Okay, got it.
Although only 35, Otto leads a team of experienced cooks and new apprentices, which in catering is unusual for someone so young.
I believe tradition is the root, and we need to learn to walk before we can run. We need to master traditional cuisine before we innovate. That's my culinary philosophy.
Wagyu beef with sand ginger, blue lobster with 10-year-old Huadiao wine, fried tripe, 4 servings.
Okay, got the crab.
Okay.
Fried tripe is one of Otto's specialities.
We only use the first third of the pig's tripe, because the rest is too thin to be sliced. This dish is very crunchy.
Pig's tripe can be served either as an everyday dish or on formal occasions, depending on how much thought is put into it. When soaked raw in ice-cold water, it becomes firmer, which is the key to giving it a more chewy texture. A crab that has just melted is called a water crab in South China. Although it has little meat, it's Otto's secret weapon for dressing tripe. The water crab is pounded to yield an alkaline marinade. Dipping the tripe into it can enhance its freshness and soften its fiber to make it more tender.
Maybe just a few customers are willing to pay for a tripe dish, but those who appreciate cuisine and taste it like it a lot.
This method of preparing and cooking tripe originates from old-style Cantonese cuisine. Otto has incorporated it in the creation of his dish. In Macau's competitive culinary business, Otto has taken something ordinary and made it extraordinary. After his day working in Macau, Otto goes straight back to his home in Hengqin to cook dinner for his family. In spite of his daily double border crossing, Otto spends less time commuting than many city dwellers, and he can enjoy a rich and full family life. While some workers are getting ready for bed, others are just knocking on people.
I'm leaving.
Okay, drive slowly.
Okay, bye. We truck drivers drive like this every day, all year round.
For truck drivers, it's common to work through the night. A right-hand drive and dual number plates on this vehicle indicate where its driver Ma Qingqi is going. While most of China is sleeping, this workplace is in full swing. This is a vegetable processing base for the Macau market. Fruits and vegetables from all over China are sorted and packed here.
There are many kinds. Besides Guangdong, we have vegetables from Shandong, Yunnan, and Ningxia. There are more than 100 varieties. Get rid of any foam. We don't want rotten ones. First, cut off the head. Each has to be the same size, the standard size.
Chan Chi Chong is from Macau and is the third generation of his family to run their vegetable business. After he took it over, he followed the business strategy of building processing plants on the Chinese mainland to ready produce from various places, before supplying it to businesses and hotels in Macau.
Since Macau has too many people and not enough land, we had trouble forming our supply chain, so we decided to build this processing plant.
These fruit and vegetables are ready for eating and are sourced mostly from Qingyuan, not far away from Guangdong. These greenhouses, lined up like glass Lego bricks, are a large provider of hydroponically grown, high-quality vegetables.
All the vegetables in this base are for the Macau market, which has higher requirements, so we have higher standards for growing them. We adopt precision irrigation. You can pick these vegetables and eat them raw right on the spot.
The vegetables are grown under carefully controlled and monitored conditions. Every year, 100 tons of high-quality produce from this 13-hectare base are sent to Macau as a gesture of goodwill. After loading, they begin their short but significant journey.
We have to be there at 11 p.m. to be first or second in the queue. The earlier we get to Macau, the earlier we deliver the goods to clients.
As usual, Ma Chinchi is the first in line waiting to cross the border. He knows the freshness of ingredients is of the utmost importance, so he never slacks off.
We two are always at the front of the line. It's either him or me.
We have dinner from 6 p.m. to 8 p.m. chatting and having fun. Then we hurry off to load the goods.
It's fine if you charge a bit more.
Most delivery drivers traveling between Macau and the mainland arrive at the Bombay port before midnight. Waiting patiently all night long. At 6 a.m., the border crossing suddenly comes to life, with delivery trucks eager to clear customs. Ma Qingqi knows the process by heart. After 10 minutes, his van is already on the streets of Macau, heading for its final stop, the new wholesale market of Macau. In the market, people are either eating breakfast, resting or exercising because they know the biggest moment of the day is coming. The market is at its busiest when much of Macau is just getting out of bed. The goods won't be kept here for more than 2 hours. By 08:30 a.m., Fruit, vegetables and meat have been moved from the wholesale market to Macau street markets in time for household shoppers to buy their everyday supplies. The city has come alive. Now Ma Qingqi can enjoy his breakfast. A bowl of beef noodles, a pineapple bun and a cup of coffee are his favorites. With his work finished for the day, he can reward himself. Pork from Guangdong, beef from northern China, fruit and vegetables from every province. Today, 90% of ingredients sold in Macau are supplied from the Chinese mainland all year round.
I like coming here because there's a wide variety of choice. In Macau, the chili peppers we used to use in stir-fried dishes weren't very spicy. Now there are many varieties such as these Thai chili. They're imported and very spicy.
With a good supply of high-quality ingredients, different food cultures coexist in Macau. Inclusiveness has been a big part of Macau cuisine for hundreds of years. In the new era, different styles of cooking flourish and compete. Huaiyang cuisine is exquisite. Shandong cuisine is inclusive. Sichuan cuisine is pungent. These distinctive regional cuisines gather together in Macau.
I've been cooking Cantonese cuisine for more than 20 years. In recent years, however, I have also gotten into Sichuan and Hunan cuisines. I think they're the goals I will strive for in the future.
When a chef specialized in Cantonese cuisine takes Sichuan cuisine as his biggest interest, he will naturally integrate the two styles.
This is an old method of marinating using medicinal ingredients in Sichuan. It's been passed down through the generations.
Pickling spices in liquor and sealing them for 12 hours can bring out their flavors. This ancient method that originated from Chinese medicine is used by Chanchek Keong for the making of Sichuan-style oil, which is used as a cooking base.
Sichuan pepper is spicy, while Hunan pepper is pungent. I mix them together for a new taste.
The mix creates a balance between spiciness and pungency. Moreover, Chanchek Keong has a special method of making oil.
The meat pieces must be deep fried until they turn golden and the water in them is drawn out before marinating for one night so that the oil will be retained.
Making oil with fatty chicken and pork belly is similar to making traditional Sichuan oil with lard. It's a laborious process to which Chanchek Keong is well accustomed.
To make the oil, I simmer the vegetables gently until they're dry. It allows the smell of the spices to permeate the oil.
When peppers and spices meet, their true tastes are brought out by the carefully nurtured oil. Leaving the oil overnight is the final stage. In Macau, an inclusive paradise for diners, each style of cooking has its place. Chefs showcase their talents and communicate through cuisine. Mixing in dried chili gives extra flavor. Fish in hot chili oil originating from southwest China is now marked with Made in Macau. While a Cantonese chef is studying Sichuan cuisine, a Sichuan chef is pondering something new. Yang Dengquan is from Chengdu, the Sichuanese capital. Whenever the restaurant plans to launch a new dish, he'll look things up and ponder over how best to do it.
These two cookbooks are my treasures and friends. I won't let them out of my sight. Many dishes have stories about their origins. Only dishes with stories and histories last long.
In 2003, the first direct flight to Macau from southwestern China was started in Chengdu, bringing numerous tourists from Sichuan to Macau. Today, the distinctive tastes of Sichuan and Hunan cuisines are no longer for these tourists only, but also for all the diners in Macau.
All snacks. Pay attention to the flame, stove, and oil temperature. Don't get burned. Stay safe. There's no time. Busy now. Do you still need those?
Yes.
Then put them away.
Okay.
All members in the team, led by Yang Dengquan, are from Sichuan to ensure the authenticity of their cooking. Now they are facing a new challenge. They need to produce a less spicy, turned-down version of Sichuan cuisine to satisfy the tastes of Macau diners.
Sichuan is renowned for being hot and spicy. Traditionally, it has 24 flavors, 1/3 of which involve chili. At the same time, however, it also has plenty of dishes that are not so spicy.
Yang Dengquan will redefine Sichuan cuisine to suit Macau tastes by focusing on flavors that are more sweet and aromatic. Sweet pork belly is a delicacy originating from traditional feasts in Sichuan. Putting large and brown sugar into sticky rice can increase its sweetness and tenderness. The pork belly is also dressed with brown sugar. The pork is cut into slices. Black sesame is used as a filling to lend the meat its savory flavor. In the steamy kitchen, the sweet and savory smells of meat, rice, and sugar pervade the air. Still more preparation is required to complete the dish.
More and more customers have tasted it, which shows they have accepted Sichuan cuisine, the different Sichuan cuisine. After the sweet pork belly has been steamed, it's stir-fried with strong heat to remove the extra fat, melt the sugar, and make the meat thoroughly cooked.
The delicious taste of sweetened meat comes to penetrate the entire dish. With the topping of crushed peanuts, it's ready to eat. It's another day in Macau. As usual, American chef Connor Beach is studying baking recipes over his morning coffee, as well as working on a new creation.
So this is my sourdough. I started it 8 years ago from pineapple juice, wheat flour and white flour. Now, this is really my baby, and she's the soul of my sourdough bread.
Hideki Fujikawa is a Japanese chef. He starts his day by sharpening his knives.
Elle used to be criticized by my master for doing things wrongly or cutting things wrongly. He'd examine my knife. If it wasn't well sharpened, I'd be scolded. I've inherited everything he taught me, and I'm working hard.
For hundreds of years, Macau, with the land area of just 33 square kilometers, has gathered different flavors from both east and west. Cuisine in Macau has never stopped moving forward. A seemingly ordinary poached egg is often used to measure the standard of a French restaurant. With the bringing together with so many talents, every world-class cuisine shines in Macau. It might be the classic French dish of foie gras, an authentic Italian delicacy, or a dazzling series of cocktails. Macau is like a rotating tray, offering gourmet food from all over the world. You never know what surprises it's going to present next.
Living and working in Macau is great. The restaurants have very high standard, world-class restaurants. And it's really convenient. My home is right near the LRT station. I can take the train every day, and it takes just 13 minutes.
Today, Hideki Fujikawa comes into work earlier than usual. A special ingredient is arriving from across the oceans.
These horsehair crabs look amazing. Their color is bright and their weight is right. They must have a lot of crab roe and large legs. I think it contains a lot of meat. Obviously, fresh live crabs are the best.
The fresh crabs have been flown in from Hokkaido and are a prize catch for the Japanese chef. To bring out the fresh, sweet flavor of their meat, he decides to add a smart detail to the poaching process.
To make the crab more fresh and sweet, you need to boil the water and provide substantial heat for circulation. So I thought of folding a piece of aluminium foil into a cover on the water when poaching the crab.
Tender green perilla leaves are coated in batter and fried until crispy to add texture. When he comes to dividing a crab, Fujikawa is an expert. With a good knife, he can remove all of its meat in 3 minutes. The sandwich is crispy on the outside and soft on the inside. Finished with fresh the urchin that's also from Hokkaido. It's a signature dish he has created, especially for Macau.
This is the Mizumi burger. Please have a taste.
A burger.
Fujikawa has used the theme of the most common and best known of American dishes. A real hamburger is of course made of beef. Nobody knows more about optimum conditions for storing the best beef than American chef Connor Beach.
Welcome to Macau, and welcome to my Himalaya Salt Kingdom. I will never watch the video. Never watch.
Although not very confident in front of our camera, Chef Connor has 100% confidence in the quality of the beef in this room. Instead of bricks, the walls are made of Himalayan salt slabs, which have an antimicrobial effect and help regulate humidity. Coupled with water mist, they work to improve the flavor of the stored meat. It's a process called dry aging.
So here you can see our Australian Angus tomahawk. Right now it's about 10 days of dry aging, and that's gonna make the meat very juicy after we cooked it. And then we're gonna give it another 18 to 20 days before we can trim it and grill it for you.
Japanese chefs are as passionate for fish as American chefs are for beef. This bluefin tuna has been flown in from Japan, where single freshly caught bluefin tuna have been auctioned for millions of dollars. In Macau, gourmet food made with all parts of the bluefin tuna is highly sought after. Given the meat's value, Chef Fujikawa is extremely particular about the way he prepares it.
Many people think that the most freshly caught fish makes the best sashimi. But it's a different case with tuna. Before this tuna is shipped here, it is aged for 2 to 3 days in Japan. Personally, I think it should be preserved for another week or so, which will release more of the tuna's potential.
Aging of tuna is similar to that of beef. It intensifies the meat's flavor and tenderizes its tissues. As long as the conditions are right, time will have an improving effect. Because of the training, quality of ingredients, time and storage conditions required, preparation like this is normally the preserve of fine dining. Of course, Connor Beach's top quality beef should be cooked over the best charcoal grill. A good set of sushi knives can cost more than many chefs earn in a year. Macau's high-end integrated resort hosts some of the world's most discerning diners. In turn, this creates demand for world-class chefs. So alongside its own culinary heritage, the Special Administrative Region also offers top-level international dining.
This is a tuna sushi. Please enjoy. Hokkaido. Year 2021. Tuna belly.
Chef Fujikawa is learning Cantonese with the help of a notebook, although, of course, the best way is to be a practice.
How are you? Long time no see.
During his 7 years in Macau, a late-night snack after work has been his chosen time for relaxation. The owner of this restaurant he frequents has become his Cantonese language teacher.
How do you like the food today?
Yummy. Yummy. Too spicy.
Too spicy?
With such a wide variety of the best culinary talent, the inclusive and eclectic city of Macau is a perfect place for chefs to learn from each other.
Hi, good afternoon, chef. How are you?
Chef, how are you? Everything okay?
Hey, everything okay? Are you busy today?
Not bad.
So what is the product
Actually, this one is our also buko.
Oh, can you show me how to do it?
Yes, of course, it's my pleasure. Please.
Yeah, thank you so much.
Over the years, Joseph Tse has learned to communicate with foreign chefs in English. Recently, he has developed an interest in sous vide cooking. Joseph Tse's restaurant was the first in Macau to be awarded 3 Michelin stars.
Cantonese cuisine has never stopped developing because us Cantonese chefs are constantly learning cooking techniques from all over the world.
Sous vide generally refers to cooking meat or fish by vacuum sealing and immersion in warm water. It allows for perfect control, uniformity of cooking, and perfect results every time.
Wow, very delicious.
You can use it for every kind of part of meat, but just you have to remember that the beef and veal have different cooking. This is very good.
Yeah.
You see the color is still peaking. Yeah. It's so jelly.
Yummy, yummy, yummy.
Since learning about the new method, Joseph has been using it to cook some of his own dishes.
I'm going to apply Western sous vide cooking to this crispy beef. For the marinade, we will use a traditional Cantonese one.
Frying the beef finishly in boiling oil retains its moisture. This is a technique commonly used in Chinese meat dishes. A cooking sauce is then made with fried vegetables, spices, and condiments. Joseph couldn't be more familiar with this marinade preparation routine. But instead of his usual method, Joseph will now use a sous vide oven to strictly control the temperature at a low level for slow steering.
This way of cooking can better retain the beef's original texture.
The result is meat that is tender and juicy. Inspired by Japanese tempura, Joseph goes further to batter and fry the beef to give it a crispy crust. The meat underneath has an excellent texture and a distinctive Cantonese taste. Unsurprisingly, as a dish, it is placed on the restaurant's must-order menu.
I have a special fondness for this piece. It's for Lotus Banquet, but its casting mold is nowhere to be found now, so I've been keeping it here as a souvenir in case I can't find any more pieces like it.
In Macau, almost all outstanding chefs devote themselves to innovation. Ever since the city's return to China, So Pedro has never stopped delving into the potential of a Lotus Banquet. It is his use of worldwide ingredients and a combination of Chinese and Western cooking techniques that marks his creations out from traditional plant-based dishes. China has a unique history of cultivating culinary vibrancy. Its wide variety of food resources and deep traditions form an ideal foundation for ambitious chefs to innovate on, to bring forth new creations from an old and distinguished heritage. It's 4 p.m. and Chef Lam Wai-seng of a seafood restaurant is waiting for a big visitor.
It's been a while since I last saw a fish this big. 1, 2, 3. It's huge.
The arrival of this 75-kilo fish raises a commotion in the whole restaurant.
Careful, careful. 1, 2, 3.
Lam Wai Seng even dresses up in preparation for a showing of this fish. This time-honored seafood restaurant has a tradition of parading the most outstanding food before its customers. From the kitchen staff, the buzz raised by the fish is now spreading among the customers.
I never saw a fish this huge.
The biggest I've ever seen weighed about 5 kilos.
The seafood in Macau is fresher.
The restaurant has full confidence in the freshness of this giant grouper. It comes from an aqua farm in China's tropical island province, Hainan. Only a handful of the most popular restaurants in Macau have the means to obtain such a top-quality specimen. In Chef Lam Wai Seng's eyes, every part of a big fish can be made into a palatable dish. He always saves its back meat for hot pot. The thick back meat with a layer of collagen-rich skin delivers a chewy taste after poaching, similar to tender veal. Hot pot is popular throughout China. Since starting out in Macau, one entrepreneur has expanded his hot pot business to Beijing.
This is where I grew up. Konya Street. It's a small street that extends about 200 meters from that end to the other. Long time no see, sir. I come back to Macau for 2 to 3 days each month, like a visitor. Beijing has been my home court these years.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome to Fly with Air Macau. This is flight next 002 from Macau to Beijing. I am Captain Lam Ka-chun. On behalf of the entire crew, I'd like to welcome you aboard.
Three hours is all it takes for Frankie Chan to fly from Macau to his new home in Beijing.
I took her to Macau.
Right.
I took her there, and because we both liked hot pot, I took her out for a hot pot dinner.
I grew up in Beijing and was quite amazed trying Macau-style hot pot for the first time in my life.
And then we both decided to introduce it to Beijing.
"16 years ago, Frankie and Wei Wei's hot pot restaurant took roots in Beijing. It still uses its classic chicken feet and pork bone broth recipe today. Chicken bones and pork skin make up the basic ingredients to enrich the taste of the broth. Frankie adds in fresh prawns and other shellfish. After stewing for 12 hours, the broth thickens and matures. This is when collagen-rich chicken feeds and cartilage, as well as an assortment of vegetables, are put in to perfect it.
This batch of meat was good when delivered, right?
Yes.
Over the past 16 years, Frankie has devoted himself to developing beef cuts for his hot pot business, which are more popular with Chinese northerners. Rib, finger, and ribeye with mouth-watering marbling. Rib finger with mouth-watering marbling are a perfect match for the exquisite hot pot broth. After taking one sip, Frankie wants his customers in Beijing to be transported all the way south by the taste of his hometown.
Been a while, brothers. Maybe we could grab a late-night snack together if you're free tonight.
Sure, Mr. Lamb. I'll be there.
Got it, Mr. Lamb.
Count me in.
Copy, Mr. Lam.
Got it, Mr. Lamb. I'll be there on time.
Roger, Mr. Lam.
Jackie Lam is a leading figure in Cantonese cuisine in Macau. He has promoted exchanges between chefs from the mainland and Macau for many years. As a Macau resident, born and bred, his life has been tied closely to the city.
These are the high water marks of typhoon floods. This marks the water depth on August 23rd, 2017, when the super typhoon Hato hit Macau.
With the support of its motherland, Macau can stand up to and recover quickly from the biggest of storms.
Among all of Macau's markets, this one, though smaller, has the most seafood. Fishermen fish in the morning and transport their catches here in the afternoon. So the seafood sold here is very fresh. That's some nice Bombay duck you got there. Wow, these are really nice. These Bombay duck are produced in the waters of the Pearl River Delta. This one's pink-skinned, which means its meat is in top quality. If it's paler like this one, the meat is not as good. 3 kilos for me, please.
Bombay duckfish are a variety of fish commonly seen in southeast China. They are Jackie Lam's favorite.
Us chefs should not discriminate between rare and common ingredients. Cooking them into delicious food is all that matters.
Baited and deep fried. To make sure the flesh inside is as tender as tofu, Jackie must strictly control the temperature of his oil for a final sort lasting no more than 5 seconds. Finally, his signature dish, that is crisp on the outside and soft on the inside, is completed. When steamed and served with chenkun rice noodles sourced from Shunde in Guangdong, Bombay duckfish take on a different character. Steaming gives their meat a more delicate flavor.
Are you not cold?
Upon Jackie's invitation, his old friends, peers, and one-time students have gathered here this evening. As usual on such occasions, he is doing the cooking. He is always hoping to share and exchange ideas.
I'm going to make you one more dish that I call Macau tofu casserole. Don't hesitate to take more if you like it.
Jackie names the casserole after Macau as it features the city's speciality, shrimp paste.
Macau tofu casserole is a very homely dish. Back in the day, it was often eaten by laborers and rickshaw pullers. Its essence is appetizing and savory shrimp paste.
The shrimp paste also enhances the taste of pork belly and leek added to the tofu from Macau of the 20th century. It's a very representative dish.
One by one. Next time, I'll invite you again and we'll take a group photo. 20 years ago, our seniors took one. They'd like us to take a picture together as a souvenir and a source of motivation for all of us, okay?
Alrighty.
Food enriches life in Macau, both during its busy working days and its leisurely evenings. To carry forward their heritage, a younger generation of chefs are eagerly learning from their seniors. World-class chefs abound in this Chinese city, along with discerning diners to demand their high standards.